Welcome, paranormal enthusiasts, to this week's episode of Creepin' It Real, here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network, where everyone comes for their paranormal fix. Real people, real stories, in real time. So glad you could join us for some ghostly gab. I'm your host, Eleanor Wagner.
As always, I appreciate you hitting the subscribe tab, follow button, or show app on your podcast of choice. Everybody give a hello shout out to our coast to coast techie, Crispy Bacon. He'll be working hard tonight to help us run smoothly. Tonight's guests are part of a team of investigators from out of the White Mountains of Arizona. They take inspiration for their name from the old Army Brigade, the Apache Scouts, who were tasked with searching for the infamous Apache outlaw Geronimo. Based out of Fort Apache, the team currently consists of 5 members from a multitude of lifestyles and professions. The Scout investigators take charge in finding and documenting paranormal events in the White Mountains of Arizona and beyond. I would like to welcome the guests here. They haven't arrived yet, but they are the Paranormal Scout Investigators, or PSI for short. And as they show up, our techie Chris will invite them in to the show. There's Leland, who is the lead investigator and co-founder of the group. And there's James, who's the lead investigator. Adam, who's an investigator. Kay, who is an investigator. And Christine, who is both an investigator but a sensitive to spirit. They have done an investigation in a local YMCA and have gotten some interesting evidence that they sent over to me to share for tonight's show. The first one is comprised of orbs that they caught on camera. The other is one where they had singing that they heard on their audio. And the last one was where they actually call what they described as a creeper of some sort. So I'm going to have Chris put each of these up for us to view in the meantime.
They're videos, correct?
Yeah, one is labeled orbs, one is labeled singing, and one is labeled creeper.
Okay. I got this one is the creeper.
Look at that. Definitely strange.
It is. Here's the second one.
Which one is this labeled?
Creeper 2. Let's see. This one's the creeper stairs.
I love when you get catches like that on camera. Did you see one with orbs in it?
This one's the...
That's a ton of orbs, yeah. That's definitely a heap of them.
And then here's another one.
Oh, there it is. Did they, by any chance, send in audio with singing on it, Chris? Because they sent over something that had singing.
Yeah.
I can get a good picture of you. Thank you. You're very polite. Nice.
And the thing about evidence like that is you're just acting normal and taking this footage, and half the time you don't even know some of the things that you caught until after you bring it home and you review it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even hear that happened. So you can sometimes hear some things, and then other things you can't even take notice of until you go back and you listen to it. They did an investigation in, I think it's called Gila County Jail in Globe, Arizona. And the
Yeah.
picture that I sent you is credit to EG. That was all that they had given with the name. But the old jail in Golub, Arizona, served Arizona territory from 1910 until 1912, when Arizona became a state, and then it continued its operations until 1981. At one point in time, the town was considered to be a veritable Wild West town, and according to Atlas Obscura, replete with all the stagecoach robberies, gunfights, and debauchery that often accompanied life on the frontier. When law and order found Globe, the methods of incarceration were still questionable at best, a fact plainly proven at the 1910 Gila County Sheriff's Office and jail. The jail turned a museum in around the 1981 timeframe and retains decades of prisoners' etchings, including names, dates, symbols, and colorful expressions. The steel cell locking mechanism, allegedly hauled in by a mule from Yuma, Arizona, was restored to full working order, such that visitors on the guided tours of the museum can experience lockdown temporarily if they so wish. And I imagine there's plenty of paranormal activity in this location. I wish they were here to
Yeah.
share it with us. But they did catch something that they refer to as mimic. So I'm assuming that's an audio or a video.
I believe so. I can play what I think.
Made it daytime with a flashlight. We got a couple orbs going around. Is that you guys just lurking, watching us?
Moving around to go talk to your friends.
You guys know how that spirit box works.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see?
he said, yeah, I do.
See, now you're starting to speak out of it.
I think.
I like that.
Yeah.
When they respond like that. Have you ever done a paranormal investigation yourself, Chris?
I haven't. No.
Any interest or desire to do so?
Probably not right now, but I've heard stories of different events going on, mainly on TV, but haven't really witnessed one, personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that I'm in a new state, I had put it out on social media to see if I could find a local group to participate with once I get settled into my new place. And although I haven't actually found a group, I have a lot of people that want to be a part of a group. So if I'm not able to lock down a group that's already established, I'll probably end up starting another one like I did in New Jersey and making an extension of the one that I have in Jersey. And then just see who I can get to be a part of this one. Actually, my new hairdresser, she's very sensitive to spirits. So she was like, I would love to be a part of the team. And her boyfriend's got a haunted house that he lives in. So I've got the first investigation in the bag. I just got to get the team together.
There you go. At least you got something.
Yeah, right. But the Paranormal Scouts also did an investigation in a clinic, which oftentimes can be a veritable arena for activity, including hospitals, regular hospitals, because I hear from a lot of sensitives that they are things that should be cleansed constantly because there is so much death and trauma in them daily, which is understandable. And if you get a clinic that was once before like a insane asylum for mentally mental people, people who are mentally, I can't even think of the word, who have mental issues that are there or are put there illegitimately. Some people were put away when they weren't even ill just to get them away from their families. Um, that creates a lot of stuff too. And when you go back to do investigations there, you can really pick up on some good stuff. So I don't know what it is that they sent us, if it was just a picture or a video, but it was labeled spirits. Do you see that one?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I found it. I can. maybe. I do have one. Hold on.
Oh, wow. Those were
Yeah,
great.
they
Those
were.
were good catches. Oh my gosh. And you could clearly tell the ones that were children.
They were, yeah, I could hear them. And
So clear. Ah, man, I wish they were here to talk about this stuff. We would
I
have some
know.
good conversations going on. I wonder what happened to them. Unfortunately, to the listening audience, when you have a live show, it's really hard to pull things together if your guest doesn't show up. But I mean, they did send all of their footage over and information, so I assume that they were going to be here, but have been unable to connect with them in the last few days. So I apologize for that, but I'm glad that at least I got to put what they had up for you guys to
Yeah,
see. And I think that those spirits in that clinic definitely was a good catch to share with you guys.
it was.
They do a lot of stuff out there, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do at this point. I think, unfortunately, our guests are not showing up.
No,
um, so I guess that's where we pretty much have to call it a night. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to the listening audience for that. But I'm glad that you tuned in with this brief but fun episode. And if you're into all things paranormal, you can check out my other show, Eleanor Wagner's Strange and Scary World podcast out of the Paranormal UK radio network, which is available wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch and listen to the uncut version directly on my YouTube channel, Eleanor Wagner. If any of you are interested in reading any of my books, you can find them on Amazon, but you can get signed copies directly through me at authoreleanorwagner@gmail.com. I write about the history of the town and location, add the paranormal story to the mix, and I finish it all off with photos and evidence. I'm excited to share that I have t-shirts available from both my Creepin' It Real podcast and Strange and Scary World podcast. And if anyone's interested in getting one, just email me at authoreleanorwagner@gmail.com and we can work that out. Lastly, viewers, tune in on Thursday, March 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when members of Canadian Paranormal join in with me for some ghostly gal. And I appreciate you showing up tonight. Have a good night, everyone.
I hope you've enjoyed this little journey down my own personal nightmare alley. If you're one of those people who experiences the paranormal and has stories of your own you've been filing away over the years, I want to hear about them. And if you're a part of a paranormal investigative team, even better. I'd love to have you on my show. Got a questionable photo? Send it in. Would love to have an open discussion here amongst the professionals. Reach out to me at authoreleanorwagner@gmail.com. Enjoy our soundtrack music, Headless Horseman by Alexander Nakarada, promoted by freestockmusic.com. And remember, no ghost story is better than a real-life ghost story. Until we meet again, make sure you're creeping it real.